Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. In this lesson, we will talk about derived nouns, also called asma mushtaqqa. Asma is the plural for ism, and then mushtaqqa means derived. I'm going to just give you a quick overview of derived nouns, and then we will talk about one very important category of derived nouns, which is the active participle. Active participle is what we refer to this, is what we say in English. The Arabic term is ismul fa'il. Now, before I get into the material for this particular lesson, I just want to share this journey that we've been through. We started out talking about ism. So we talked about the basics of ism. We talked about rafa, nasab, jar, singular, plural, ma'arfa, nakra. So we talked about ism in different forms. Then we talked about compounds. So how do we put isms together? How do we create sentences using ism? And I'm generally using the term ism because the English word noun, even though we use noun to loosely translate ism, but I hope you realized that in English, the word noun has a somewhat limited connotation. In English, when we say noun, we refer to a name, place, or thing, and it could be a proper noun or common noun. But I hope you realize that the word ism and then the plural asma has a much broader connotation, in the sense that the term ism also includes adjectives, it also includes pronouns, it also includes adverbs, and so on. So the term ism is much broader than the English term noun, but for simplicity, we often use noun to talk about ism. I want you to recognize, though, that ism is much broader. So anyway, we talked about ism at the start of this course. Then we got into verbs. And with verbs, we went from easy to difficult. We started out with the very basic verbs. We talked about the concept of root letters and how we create verbs from root letters. Then we talked about more advanced. Verbs, derived verbs, and now we are going back to ism, because we will realize that there are many isms that are actually derived from verbs or derived from three root letters. So here I want to first just do a high level categorization of ism. Broadly speaking, there are some isms which are not created based on well-defined rules. So these isms just exist. For example, the word malikun, which means king or ruler, this comes from the root letters Mim, Lam, Kaf. Or the word malakun, which means angel, this comes from the same root letter. If you ask what is the rule based on which we said that malikun is king and malakun is angel, there is no real answer. So the Arabs at some point, for reasons that we don't know, just decided that malikun means king and malakun means angel. Similarly, rajulun means man, whereas rijlun means feet. Jamalun means beauty, so it's describing an attribute in a sense, and jamalun means camel. So where do these nouns come from? The answer is that the Arabs just decided that this word has a certain meaning. So the isms which are not really created based on rules that we understand or rules that we know, these isms typically include the names of people, places, things, the name of an abstract concept. These isms are called jamid. So jamid means that it's not created based on any well-defined rules. The Salasi Mujarrad Masdar. So Masdar is the name of an action. These are also Jamid isms, in the sense that they are not created based on any rules. So Darabun is the act of hitting. So the name that we give to the act of hitting is Darabun. Dahabun is the name given to the act of going. Qu'udan is sitting. So these are all Thalathi mujarrad masdars, and they are jamid because these masdars don't really have any rule based on which they are created. We just need to learn them. But then there is a very large group of isms, and that's what we are going to discuss now. And these isms are created from verbs using some rules. These isms are called asma mushtaqqa. So as I said before, mushtaqqa means derived. So the isms that are derived are called asma mushtaqqa. And we've already had a flavor of this in the sense that all the masters associated with mazid fi. So when you have, for example, babe ifal, you had akrama. This is the past tense. Present tense is yukrimu. And then the master ikraman. Ikraman is a noun, so it's an ism. It's the name of this act of ikram. And how we create that noun ikraman is based on a certain rule. With every mazid fi bab, there is a rule based on which the mastar is created. So those masters then would fall, broadly speaking, under asma mushtaqqa, because there is a rule based on which the masdar of the mazid fi babs is created. There are many other important categories of derived nouns or asma mushtaqqa, and those important categories are shown here. These are the categories that we are going to discuss over the next few sessions. And in today's segment, we are going to talk about the one that's perhaps the most important, which is active participle. And in Arabic, this is referred to as ismul fa'il. And I hope you can recognize what this means. Just from the name, you know that ismul fa'il would be the person doing an action or the entity that is doing an action. And we are going to discuss this today. So obviously a verb represents an action, and then the doer of that action will be the ismul fa'il. In subsequent classes, we'll talk about ismul maf'ul. In English, that's called passive participle. So this would be the person or the entity on whom the action is happening. Then we have ismul zarf. Zarf, very loosely speaking in English, this is locative noun, but I would rather just use the Arabic term, which is ismul zarf. And then under ismul zarf, we can have zarf zaman, which has to do with the time, something about the time when an action is happening, or ismul zarf makan. Ismul zarf makan would be literally the location. So a very simple example would be sajada. So sajada yasjidu, that's to prostrate. Then there is a place that we prostrate. What's that called? That's called masjidun. So this is a very simple example of ismul zarf. It has to do with the location where a given action is happening. Then we have ismul safa. So this has to do, this comes from sift or adjective, something that describes. So we have certain isms which fall in this category. We'll discuss those. Then we have ismul tafzil. Tafzil refers to comparative and superlative. So for example, if I want to say someone is greater than somebody else, or someone is the greatest, then we use the word akbar. So akbar can be translated as greater than, and it is also sometimes translated as the greatest. So there will be some nouns which give a meaning which is either comparative, so compared to something else, or superlative, which is like the highest form of the best, or some other attribute or some other aspect. For example, ashaddu means stronger than, and there will be other examples that we'll discuss later. And the final category in the list over here is ismul ala. This is nouns that are describing different kinds of tools. So for example, a key lets you open a door. So that's miftah. So fataha is opening, and then the tool that lets you open. There will be obviously rules for coming up with these sorts of nouns, and they are called ismul a'la. All right, now let's focus on ismul fa'il. This is what we will be discussing today. The other types of the other categories we'll be seeing later. So the rule with Salati Mujarrad is where you have verbs, and the past tense form of the verb just has the 3 root letters. So sha, ka, ra. So what is the verb that comes from this? The past tense verb is shakara, which means he was thankful. And what's the present tense of this? Someone?
Yushkiru.
Actually, it's always the ya will always have a fatha in Salati Mujarrad. Shakara yashkuru. Okay, so what bab is this? Just by the way, this is bab nasara. Like nasara yansuru, shakara yashkuru. All right. The way, so what does shakara mean? Shakara means to be grateful. So shakara is to be grateful. Fail madi, yashkuru is fail mudare. Now, how do you refer to someone who is grateful? The rule is you follow this pattern, fa'ilun. So the person, so fa'ala is to do something. The person who is doing something is called a fa'il. So what have we done? We take the fa letter, add alif. On the ain letter, which is the middle letter, we put kasra. And then on the lam letter, it's un. If obviously you realize by now that what happens on the final letter obviously depends on how the word is being used in the sentence. But our default is to just say un. So if Dr. Ghani, can you tell me what will the ism fa'il be for shakara?
Shakiran.
Very good. So the ismul fa'il, so you take the fa letter and then add an alif. So sha, and then what happens? What's the ain letter here?
Kaf.
Kaf. And what do we do with the kaf? Fatha, kasra, dhamma?
Shakiran, Dhamma.
Kasra.
Sorry, Kasra.
And then the default on the ra is on. Does this word look familiar? Shakirun.
One who is thankful.
And then how do we just say it? We just say shakir. Often, like in Urdu and even in Arabic, when we say this with waqf, waqf means we don't pronounce the last part. It's just shakir, right? So the word shakir, do you see that it's derived from shakara yashkuru? So it is derived based on a very simple rule, and I just call this rule fa'ilun. In English also, the active participle is often created based on a rule. So if you have the verb to read, what is the person called who is reading? You just add the ER at the end. So the reader. So in English, with some words, you just add ER at the end. That's sort of the rule or the pattern for English, mostly. With Arabic, it is more straightforward. If you know that your fail is Salasi Mujarrad, then to create the Ismul Fa'il, you just use the pattern Fa'ilun. So now, Shahrukh, you can do the next one. Va, la, ma. So the verb would be Zalama yazlimu. So that's Bab Daraba. What does Zalama mean? Zalama yazlimu.
To do zulm.
To do zulm, to do injustice, zulm, etc.
Injustice. Yeah.
Right. So the person who does zulm using this pattern, what would that be?
That would be the zalimun.
Exactly. So now many Urdu words are actually coming from this also. That's why when you do this, your Urdu also improves. So you have li, and then the default is to say zalimun, but when we do waqf, if we don't read the tanween at the end, it's simply zalim. All right. And then the last one, let's just say ayn lam mim. So let's say alima, alima ya'lamu. So let me pick somebody else now. Dr. Shafiq. So alima means to know. One who knows. How would you say that? So
Alimun.
alima is to know. The fa'il, the ismul fa'il would be?
Alimun.
Well, to follow this fa'ilun pattern. So the fa, so what should I say? After ayn, what do I add?
Alif.
So ayn alif. Then the ayn letter is a lam. So on the lam,
Alimun.
fatah or kasra?
Kasra.
Kasra. And then what do I, the lam letter is a meme.
Alimun.
So what do we have?
Alimun.
Alimun.
Alim, alimun or alim. Does this sound familiar? So what's an alim?
One who knows.
One who knows, exactly. So notice that this is, so now you know, right? So alimun is one who knows, shakirun is one who is grateful. So may Allah make us shakirun and alimun, but not zalimun. So these are the rules for creating ismul files. So notice that it's quite easy, and just with, so what's the single thing to remember over here? The single thing is for salati mujarrad, the pattern is fa'ilun. All right, if you remember this point, that's the only real point on this slide. For salati mujarrad, the ismul fa'il is fa'ilun. And it's very easy if you just remember these examples. So shakirun, alimun. And then I'm going to connect this with one of our very first lessons. Does this ring a bell? So remember Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin, Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimina, Muslimaini. Anybody remember that?
Yeah.
So we are back to that, right? So fa'ilun is in rafa. So if fa'ilun or shakirun is being used as the subject, then it will be written as fa'ilun. If it is nasab, so if it's an object in a sentence, then it would be written fa'ilan. And if it is jar, so what were the two reasons for something being in jar? I'm just like revising.
Jar majroor and
Yeah, exactly. Either it comes after a harf jar like min or
Or
bi.
it's objects.
No, object is nasab. So the other reason for being jar, so one is after a harf jar.
the
What
other
was the
one
other
being a
reason?
possession of something.
Exactly.
So something of
So
something.
mudaf ilayh. So if it is
Mudaf
mudaf ilayh, if it's mudaf ilayh, then it would be in jar. Okay, something is being associated with something else. The something else with which a matter or an item is being associated, or sometimes we just call it the possessor, then the noun would be in jar. So if the fa'il, if the shakir or the alim is a possessor of knowledge or a possessor of something, then it would be written as shakirin. All right, and then in dual, if we have two people who are doing an action, it would be fa'ilani. If it is in rafa, fa'ilaini, fa'ilaini. So nasab and jar sounds the same, but from context you'd have to figure out whether it's nasab or jar. And then in plural, so how would you say the plural of shakir?
Shakiruna.
Shakiruna. Shakiruna in nasab, in rafa. What
Rafa.
would it be in nasab and jar?
Shakirina.
Shakirina. Exactly. So I'm using examples that you will now, I'm sure when you read the Quran now, many other things that we are talking about, you'll see examples in the Quran. So Shakiruna, Shakirina, Shakirina. And then how would you say, a female, the female version of Shakirun?
Shakiratun.
Shakiratun. That's in Rafa. Shakiratan, Shakiratin, Shakiratani, Shakirataini, Shakirataini, Shakiratun, Shakiratin, Shakiratin. Do you remember this slight trick over here that in Nasab, even though it's in Nasab, but it will take a double kasra. So even in Nasab, there is no such thing as a double fatha for female plural. All right. This was a source of anguish a few months ago when you were taking a test on this. Lots of people got this wrong. But anyway, the purpose of doing this here is, number one, to help you learn how to come up with Ismul Fa'il. And number two, this is a good revision. And speaking of revision, your homework, again, notice that I'm giving you a lot of homework. That's how you'll remember this stuff. So Shakirun, I want you to create this table for Shakirun. And you should be able to recite this in your sleep. Shakirun, Shakiran, Shakirin, Shakirani, Shakiraini, Shakiraini, and so on. Okay, so we are
Just a
done.
question, Azam.
Yeah.
You first said when you showed this slide that this links to like the table of Muslimun,
Yeah.
Muslim, but in Muslim there's no alif.
All right. Excellent question. That is because the root or the verb that Muslim comes from is not Salati Mujarrad. So now we are going to talk about Mazid Fi. And now that you have the stage, Farooq, I'm going to ask you questions. So the rules for Salati Mujarrad are different. And obviously, Salati Mujarrad still represents verbs, right? So you have Babe Ifal, Babe Tafil. Hopefully you remember all these 8 babs, Mazid Fi babs that we've been talking about. There is a general rule for creating the Ismul Fa'il for all these babs. That rule is that you have to remove the present tense indicator. That's step 1. Step 2 is add a meme dhamma. That means instead of the present tense indicator, the Ismul Fa'il is going to start with a meme dhamma. And then if the ayn letter in some of these babs, the fail mudare ayn letter has a kasra. So mostly, actually if the ayn letter has a fatha, then convert to kasra. So in general, the ayn letter has a kasra, but there are only these couple of cases. So babe tafa'ul and babe tafa'ul. So in these 2 cases, the ayn letter has a fatha. So if the ayn letter has a fatha, then what do? You convert the fatha into a kasra. All right. Now let's go one by one. So let's take, so Farooq, you have the stage right now. So there is this verb aslama. Aslama yuslimu. This means to submit. Yuslimu. Notice that this is Babe Ifal. So do you remember the classic Babe Ifal? Anybody remember the classic Babe Ifal example that I gave you?
Akrama.
Exactly. Akrama. And then what's the fail mudare for this?
Yukrimu.
Very good. Yuk. Ri. Okay.
Mu.
So I'm going to start with Farooq. So look at this process now. So we are going to come up with the Ismul Fa'il. In other words, the one who submits. So Aslama Yuslimu, this is the verb. So Aslama is fail Madi, Yuslimu is fail Mudare. This is a verb which means to submit. A person who submits. So the Ismul Fa'il. What's step number 1, Farooq?
You remove the meme.
Exactly. No, remove the present tense indicator. So we remove
Yeah.
the meme, and what do we we remove the ya, and what do we replace
Yeah.
the ya with?
Add
Dhamma.
meme with
Yeah.
Dhamma.
Meme with dhamma. So instead of the ya dhamma, we have meme dhamma. The seen stays. So the lam has a kasra over here, which is the ain letter. So do I keep the kasra, or do I do something else?
You
Fatha.
keep it.
Keep it. And then it's musli, and then in the end, what's the default?
Mun.
Okay. So what is this? What does muslimun mean?
One who submits.
Yeah.
One who submits. All right. So does that answer your question, Farooq?
Yeah.
Okay. The timing of your question was absolutely perfect. All right. So muslimun is one who submits. When we started our Arabic studies, obviously this would not have made any sense to you. But now you realize that the word muslimun actually has this whole logic behind it. So muslimun. And then once you know muslimun, then can you do the whole table? So muslimun, musliman, muslimin, muslimaini, and so on. Okay.
We can
And
just
then-
look up the old work we did a few months
Exactly.
ago.
Yeah, you can now cycle back to the old. So what is the plural of muslimun? Male
Muslimun.
plural? Musli,
Muslimuna.
muslimuna. And then in nasab and jar?
Muslimina.
Muslimina, muslimina. And then what's female Muslim?
Muslimatun. Oh,
Muslimatun.
as in Muslimatun. as opposed to
Muslimatun. Okay, so quite easy, right? So this was now just to check somebody I've not picked on. So Aziz Saab, can you tell me? So akrama yukrimu. So somebody who does ikram. So the ismul fa'il from akrama yukrimu, what would that be?
Kurimun. Kurimun.
So what do I replace the ya with? The ya dhamma becomes
Kaf.
Mukrimun.
yeah, it becomes the ya dhamma becomes meme dhamma, the kaf stays. The ra has a kasra, so it's good to go. So mukri mun. So I hope you realize that it's very easy. All we are doing is we are taking the present tense indicator and removing it, and we replace it with meme dhamma. Then if the ain letter has a fatha, then we replace that with a kasra, and in the end we just say on. So the same logic is used over here. So let's just take each of these other examples. So babe taf'il, muallimun. Where do you think this is coming from? Allama, yuallimu, muallimun. Do you see where this is coming from? So we have allama, yuallimu,
Allimu.
yuallimu. What did we do? We replaced this ya with a meme, dhamma, and then the lam. The rest is just the same, right? So all we've done is, in most cases, it's just these two top bullets. In fact, even this can be replaced with one bullet. It's like in Word, we just do a find replace. So you find the mudari indicator, replace it with meme dhamma. Okay, and then this third bullet only applies in a couple of places. Okay, mujahidun. So one who sort of does the jihad. So jahidu, yujahidu. So yujahidu again. So you jahidu. So what are we doing over here? Replacing this with meme dhamma, so that becomes mujahidun. So why do we have un over here or mujahidun over here, but the verb does not? Do you remember this? The moment you see exactly. So another lesson that we learned a long time back was the moment you see un, what does that mean?
Now,
It's a noun.
It's a noun. So can a verb have and un?
No.
Notice in the last few months, when we've talked about verbs, a verb will never have this tanween. A verb will never have un, an, in. So the moment you see un, an, in, you know that it's a noun. It could be a jamid noun, which means that it isn't created based on any known rules, or it could be nouns such as ism file, which is created based on rules. So similarly, mutafakkirun, what do you think this means?
Someone
One who
who
does tafakkur,
One who does
thinks,
tafakkur, one who
reflects.
thinks, exactly, one who reflects. Make Allah make us from among them. Mutafakhirun. What does fakhar mean?
To be proud, to be
Yeah, to be proud, to think highly of oneself. So mutafakhirun is one who does, that. Mujtahid.
But does tafakhir mean the same thing as fakhar?
It's related. Fakhara is a Salati Mujarrad. Tafakhur generally has this competitive element to it, like thinking of yourself more than others.
Okay.
Right. Remember, with these babs, there are all these shades of meaning. So
Right.
this underlying similarity, but then when you are trying to compete with somebody else and trying to show that you are better than somebody else. So, so anyway, so if you are creating a ismul fa'il from a mazid fi, then it's going to be the same rules that we've talked about. So the meme dhamma replaces the present tense indicator. Mujtahid. What is a mujtahid? A person who does ijtihad. Ijtihad obviously is bab iftial, in fi'al munqalib, and mustaghfir. So anyway, I hope you get the point. The point is very simple. You are replacing the present tense indicator with meme dhamma, and just in a couple of cases where the ain letter has a fatha, you put a kasra. So the pattern is shown over here. Examples are shown over here. All right. Any questions on this, or is this fairly straightforward?
it works in all the babs.
It works on all the mazid fi babs.
Mazid fi babs, okay.
So remember, there are two categories of babs: salati mujarrad and mazid fi. So the rule for salati mujarrad is fa'ilun, and the rule for mazid fi is that the present tense indicator is replaced with meme dhamma. All right. So quite easy. This is how ismul fa'il is derived. So this is an example from mukrimun. So we talked about this, right? Akrama yukrimu, and then from yukrimu you get mukrimun, and then the rest of this table is familiar: mukrimun, mukriman, mukrimin, mukrimani, mukrimaini, mukrimaini, and so on. Okay, so hopefully this will bring back pleasant memories.
Arif, sir?
Yeah.
Masjid is the place where you worship.
Right.
So is there a similar rule that we'll study at some point about that?
Exactly. So all these, all these categories. So the beauty of this language is that once you can master these rules, then from each, just think of the rule that you've just learned. All you learned is two simple things. You've learned fa'ilun, and you've replaced that if it's mazid. You've learned that if it's mazid fi, then you replace the present tense indicator with meme dhamma. So based on that, all these ism file you can now create. Right.
Okay, so, sorry, I think I got dropped out when you covered this slide.
Okay, and then similarly for all these, they are going to be rules, but to keep Aziz Bhai happy, I'm not going over the rules for all these. Aziz Bhai says I'm going too fast, so that's why today I'm just doing Ismul Fa'il. So is that all right, Aziz Saab?
Thank you.
All right. Okay, now I have a question for you. Earlier, we've talked about the concept of a fa'il, and today we are talking about ismul fa'il. Are the two the same thing? Or are they different? If they are the same, then we are done. I don't need to say any more. If they are different, then what's the difference? And the hint is on this slide. So I'm not spelling it out. I just want to see who can answer this question. What's the difference between ismul fa'il and fa'il?
File is a verb.
File could be a pronoun as well. It can be a, I don't know. Ismul file would be the actual noun. File would be in a sentence where some verb is being used and the person who is actually
Excellent. Very good.
acting out.
Did the others understand this? So the key thing that Shahrukh just said, file is in the context of a sentence, whereas ismul file is just a noun, like talibun, one who seeks. This is ismul file. You don't need a sentence to say that this is ismul file. Alimun is one who has knowledge. You don't need a sentence. What does sariqun mean? Anyone? Sariqun is one who lies. All right. So anyway, these are all ismul fa'il. Whereas over here, Zahaba alimun. What does this mean?
The alim went.
The alim. So what is alim? Alim, if you just look at alimun, it is ismul fa'il. Is alimun also a fa'il over here?
No.
No.
Farooq?
He's the doer
No.
going away. Yeah.
So is the Farooq is the alimun fa'il or
No,
maf'ul?
It's the doer.
Yeah. So isn't the doer fa'il?
I thought it's ismul file.
So the point is that the word alimun is that word itself, as we've discussed, it is ismul file. But I didn't say that it can't also be the file. So in this case, it's in rafa, right? So it is also the file. So alimun in this sentence, whose dhahaba means he went. Who went? The alim went. So alim is doing the action. So the alim is the file in the context of the sentence. And the word alim is ismul file also. Okay, another example. At the end of this, hopefully you'll be clear. So we talked about zalama. What is the ismul file from zalama? Zalama yazlimu?
Zalimun.
Zalimun. Is zalimun an ismul file?
Yes.
Yes.
It is. Now, is zaliman a file?
No, because it's
No.
maf'ul. It's
So
the
maf'ul.
one on whom the action is taking place.
Who is the file in this action?
I am.
The one who does the
Exactly. And who's doing the no? Darabtu. Darabtu zaliman. What does this mean?
I hit.
Exactly. So who's the file?
I am.
I am. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and what's the action?
to hit.
Hitting.
To hit, right? So I hit the zalim.
Mhm.
All right. So notice here, is zalim an ismul file?
Yes.
So zalim is
Yeah.
ismul file, and it is ismul
But
file.
in this case, it's not the file.
It's not the file, it's the
Maf'ul.
maf'ul.
Yeah.
So notice this is what Shahrukh, you were saying, that
Mhm.
file versus maf'ul is in the context of a sentence. So you
Mhm.
can have an ismul file like zalim, but in a sentence it could be used as a file or it could be used as a maf'ul,
Mhm.
right?
Hmm.
So that's why ismul file is different from file. In the first sentence, dhahaba alimun, the alim left. There, alimun is an ismul file. And in the context of the sentence, alimun was fa'il.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So, Dr. Shafiq, can you translate this? Kitabu alimin. And you'll notice many old lessons are coming back. And then tell me what construct is this? And the fact that this is in jar should be a hint.
Yeah. Kitab,
Kitabu alimin.
the book of the alim.
Exactly. And what is this construct called?
It's
Mudaf, mudaf alayh.
Exactly. Murakkab idafi.
Imam.
The kitabu is mudaf and alimun is mudaf ilay. So is alimin ismul file?
Yes.
It is
Yeah.
an
Yes,
ismul.
it is.
So the word itself is obviously an ismul file. We've already established that. It's an ismul file, but is it the file?
No.
No, it's not a file. This is not a sentence. So the alim is not
Yeah.
doing anything. In this murakkab idafi, we are just saying that the alim is the possessor of the book, right? So that's why it is in jar. So I hope the difference between ismul fa'il and fa'il is clear. So fa'il is in the context of a sentence. It is the doer of the action in the sentence. Whereas ismul fa'il is just a word. So ismul fa'il is just an ism which talks about the doer of a particular action. Talibun is one who seeks. Alimun is one who has knowledge. Sariqun is one who lies, and so on.
I
Okay.
think I was getting confused on the difference between file and fail, right?
Yeah, that is a
File
very
is not. Yeah, file doesn't mean verb, right? It means the doer of the verb.
exactly.
Okay, that was holding me up actually.
Okay. So you were like stuck right at the initial level.
Yeah,
So I hope you're unstuck now.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay, good. And the other thing that was getting you stuck was you were trying to say that if it is file, like this is also a trick question, right? Where you were saying, okay, this is file, then it can't also be ismul file. But in this particular case, the file was also the ismul file. All right. Anyway, I hope everybody's clear now. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. If there are no questions, that means that you are ready for your homework. So I'll just explain what needs to be done, and then you have all week to do this. For the following root letters and bab, make the ismul file. So we'll just do a couple. So ghafala.
Yaghfulu.
This is sort of being in a state of heedlessness, not thinking about things. So what would be the ismul file?
Yaghfulu.
No, fa'il.
Oh, file, sorry.
One who is in a state of
Ghafil,
heedlessness.
ghafil, ghafilun.
Ghafi, very good. Okay. So I hope you realized that with Salasi Mujarrad, your starting point is fail Madi. Whereas with Mazid Fi, what's your starting point?
Mudare.
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 Present tense. Yeah.
Right. So I didn't explicitly say that, but if you were paying close attention, you would have picked that up. Let's also do this. Babe Taf'il. Does anybody remember Babe Taf'il? Taf'il sounds like Ta'lim. So the classic example with Babe Taf'il?
Allama.
Yeah, Allama or Sarrafa.
Oh,
So Allama,
Sarrafa. Yeah.
both are good. Sarrafa, Yusarrifu, Tasrifan. So let's do it for. So what would be the verb for the skaf za ba?
Yukazzibu would be the file.
Exactly. So
Mudare.
it would be yukazzibu.
Or mukazzibu.
So yukazzibu, and then what would be the ismul file would be
Mukazzibu.
mukazzibu. Very good. So the ya gets replaced with a meme, mukazzibu. All right. So, and then I'm saying do the conjugation for one salati mujarrad and one mazid fi. What I mean by that is, again, just hammering this in, ghafilun. So the conjugation means ghafilun, ghafilan, ghafilin. and then so on. So you need to make that the whole table, one for one of these three, actually one for either ghafala or khasara. So you get practice for Thalathi Mujarrad, and then one with, so Mukazzibun, Mukazzibun, Mukazziban, Mukazzibin, and so on.
That should be Mukazzibun, right?
Mukazzibun. Yeah, Mukazzibun is in Rafa, and then Nasab is Mukazziban, and then, so that's Nasab, and Jar would be Mukazzibin. All right.
So there should be a tanween at the end of that, Mukazzibun.
Yeah, exactly. Mukazzibun. Yeah, you're right. So it should be Mukazzibun. Good catch. And then how would I make this a proper noun? If I want to say
Al-Mukazzibun.
Mukazzibu.
Al-Mukazzibu, very good. When you have al, then you can't have a un then. So Al-Mukazzibu is the one who denies the truth. Actually, Kazaba is to lie. Kazzaba is to sort of, deny the truth. All right. More homework for the Quranic ayats on the next slide. I want you to do two broad things. The first is, first of all, you need to identify the Ismul File. Then for the Ismul File, you need to see, okay, what are the root letters? Which bab is it? Is it singular or plural? Is it male or female? And then the usual, which is translate the ayat. So I'll just show you what I mean. So over here, وَمَاللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. So do you see any Ismul File over here?
Yeah, the
Hello.
ghafil.
Exactly. بِغَافِلٍ. So then you need to do the, you need to figure out, this is relatively simple. So what are the root letters?
Ghafala.
Ghain, Fa, Lam. What bab is this? What category,
Ghafala.
first of all?
Daribu.
No, the
Bab
category.
Daribu.
There are two
Oh.
of the two categories.
The first one.
It's the first one, the Salati Mujarrad. And then, so Ghafala, Yaghfilu. So this is partly from experience. Okay. And then how do you translate this? وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ.
And Allah is not ghafil.
Yeah. Amma is a combination of
With
an,
what you do.
Exactly.
With
with what? Ta'amalun. With
What you are doing.
with whatever
with
you
what
are
you're doing.
doing.
What you all do.
With, exactly. This is ta'amalun. This is plural. It is second person and male. So Allah is not ghafil with all that with what you're doing. Rabbana, O our Lord, waj'alna, make us. What does muslimaini mean?
The submitters to you.
Exactly. So is this file?
Yeah.
It is a small file.
Right.
And then in that whole conjugation, muslimun, musliman, muslimin. So where is this? Is this singular, dual, plural, rafa, nasab, jar?
Dual,
It's dual.
either nasab or jar.
Either nasab or jar.
How do you tell from based on this context?
I think Nasab, I think.
Nasab.
Oh,
Nasab.
nasab because it's the object here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously when you did this a long time ago, initially we didn't know whether it's nasab or jar, but now that we are in the final stage of our studies, now you can tell that it is. Now you can tell where this word is coming from, and you can tell that it's the object. Therefore, it is a nasab. And anyway, this is like not Arabic knowledge, more like Quranic knowledge. And we've actually studied this. We've been through Surah Baqarah. Whose dua is this? And why is it dual? Anybody knows who made this dua? This is Surah Baqarah, ayat 128.
Is it Ibrahim alayhi salam and Ismail alayhi salam?
Exactly. This is Hazrat Ibrahim and Hazrat Ismail,
Ismail.
alayhi salam. So they are just, that's why make us the waja'alna, the plural, attached pronoun applies to two, but the noun muslimaini, this has to be two. This has to be dual, right?
Mhm.
So make us muslimaini for you, and from zurriyatina, from our progeny, ummatan, a nation, muslimatan. So this is this another? This is another file, muslimatan. And why is this female?
A nation. Nations are
Exactly.
female.
Nations are female. So this is muslimatan, muslimatal laka. What does this mean?
For you.
For you.
Submitters
For you.
for you.
Submitters for you. All right. So, all right. So I think you understand what I mean now, right? So identify the file and then do all the analysis of the file and then do all the translations.